a guy both of you and I know well, Dean Evason. I think eventually he'll get another shot to be a head coach in this league. Obviously, well respected here in Minnesota. You'd go back with him. Do you have a favorite Dean Evason story?
Oh, I got a million.
Got
a million.
I know you probably have countless ones, but a favorite one you could share that fans would get a kick out of.
Well, okay, so when we were 20, he was with Washington at the time. I was with Hartford. We got sent down to the American Hockey League, and we shared a farm team in Binghamton. So like, just think that would never happen now. Everybody's got their own team. But so Dean and I lived together. We didn't really know each other, but we lived together in this apartment, furnished, $460 a month in Binghamton, New York. We didn't have a car, so we bought and if you don't know what it is, go look it up. It's an AMC Matador, which the guys on the team called the Bull because it was about a block long, and we paid $600 for it. And so if you think of that, we split $300 each on the car. The rent was $230 each a month, utilities included. And so we live our way together. We have all the fun and all the ups and downs that 20-year-olds can have. Like, nobody could cook. Dean did all the cooking. He'd be on the phone with his mom, and she'd be giving him the recipe to make like whatever, whatever. I didn't know how to cook. I'm from an Italian family. Whatever my mom did, how it got from the stove to the table was of no. It was out of my brain. It was just like, it was there and it was really great. And then all of a sudden we had to do it ourselves. So by the way, we go through the year, I get called up, Dean finishes the year in the minors, and we got this car. So he calls me, he's like, what do you want to do with the car? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want it. In the meantime of the year, the muffler had fallen off. We ripped the muffler off. So we're driving around with no muffler. It's like, it's a piece of junk. So Dean leaves. He leaves all of our stuff, like the pots and blankets and everything, in the trunk of the car, rolls the windows down, and puts the keys in the ignition and leaves. Right? Just goes back to Brandon, Manitoba. He gets a call from the police department like in June. So he left in like April. So he gets a call from June, and they say, hey, what are you doing with this car? He's like, well, I don't want it. He goes, well, it's still where you left it. No, this is how bad a car was. Nobody took it. The keys were in the ignition. There was gas in the tank. And so Dean said to the policeman, he's like, hey, do you want it? And the guy's like, yeah, I got a 16-year-old. Sure, I'll take it. So the guy sent him the papers. Dean signed them and sent them back with the keys. Oh, no, the guy had the keys, sent the papers back and gave the car away. But that's how 20-year-olds deal with a problem. We're like, here, you just passed it along. Look, I think Dean's an awesome coach. I think he's gotten better year by year by year. He's an amazing guy. I really enjoy being around him, and I know players really like playing for him. I'm surprised I haven't heard his name more this summer. I thought Winnipeg might be a good fit for him. I thought Jersey might be. I still think Seattle is a place, but I'm surprised it's in a very competitive year hasn't sprung up yet.
Well, the Seattle Ron Francis thing makes a lot of sense too.
It does, but there's, it makes, to play the other side of the coin. If it was going to be Dean, wouldn't it be by now?
That's true.
Or does it have to be somebody that's still coaching somewhere? Like I don't know how those coaches searches work. But I do know, Todd McClellan's still out there. Jay Woodcroft is still out there. Dean's still out there. Like, there's really quality, competent coaches to compete against. And that goes past that Travis Green's been hired and Sheldon Keefe was rehired and Craig Berube was hired. Like, this was a loaded coaches class. And, man, it's competitive to get behind one of those 32 benches.